This is Musical Talk.
Musical Talk.
The UK's independent musical theatre podcast.
Musical Talk. The UK independent musical theatre podcast.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Nick.
How are you?
Very well, how are you?
Good. I want to talk to you about Gypsy that I saw, because last time I chatted with Robert and Olaf about it.
Well, I haven't seen it.
But you probably saw the originals, didn't you, Jonathan?
Ha ha ha. I did see Angela Lansbury when she came over and did it in 1973, 74, something like that.
First and only time it's ever been in London.
Yeah, it would be. Angela Lansbury wasn't going to do it. They wanted her to play Gypsy for a very, very long time, and she always said, no, there's no other way to do it. It'll just be like Ethel Merman. And then she suddenly realised that she found a new way into the character, and she said yes, and she did it.
What did she do that was different to Ethel Merman?
I've no idea, because I didn't see Ethel.
Yeah, but everyone knows where Ethel Merman, she screams and yells.
Well, she didn't shout as much.
Right.
And I think she also tried to find a way of making her slightly more sympathetic at times as well. And she was the one who, at the end of Rose's turn, the audience applaud her, but she carries on bowing and bowing and bowing and bowing, even when the audience has stopped applauding, which is what I think they've used in this new one. Isn't that true?
Yes, but you also saw Bernadette Peters.
Well, I did. I saw Bernadette Peters, and I thought she was absolutely wonderful. But I hadn't seen Gypsy for a very, very, very long time. In fact, not since then. It was just that Bernadette Peters also brought something new to the part, I felt. And her singing was extraordinary, because she had this incredible rhythmic drive and syncopation that lifted the songs off the page. I mean, she was amazing. I thought she was fantastic. Oh, and the film, of course. The original film with Natalie Wood and Rosalind Russell I saw because I'd become a fan of Natalie Wood because of West Side Story, which is my all-time and is my all-time favourite musical of all time. And I had no idea what Gypsy about, and I was at school, and a couple of us went to see it. And I thought it was amazing, just extraordinary. It didn't do very well. The film didn't do very well. It's not brilliant, but of course I loved it because the music's so fantastic.
Were you aware that Sondheim was involved with both shows and Arthur Lawrence, and it was kind of the same?
Do you know? I think grouping of. Even then, I probably think I was. I didn't know anything about Sondheim at that point. Of course, I certainly knew about Leonard Bernstein, but I didn't know about Sondheim. Arthur Lawrence, yes, I would have noticed the book. I suppose the book was by the same team. Yeah, I would think so. Natalie Wood, of course.
The wonderful one from the Chichester Festival Theatre is now playing at the Savoy Theatre.
Yeah.
Which I can't even give enough superlatives for this production, and no one can. I think one critic even broke the mould and had to give it 6 stars because it's just perfection. Partly due to Imelda, because she's quickly becoming apparently one of the best female interpreters of Sondheim's stuff.
She's a fantastic actress, isn't she?
The reason this works much better than Chichester is because it is finally in a proscenium arch theatre, as opposed to being in a weird, very large stage with a tiny fake proscenium arch.
Yes, I can't imagine how that could work quite, because it's definitely a proscenium arch theatre show, because it's one of the last, isn't it? It's the last of the great old-fashioned type shows, I think. Book musicals, yeah.
I've never been to a show with 3 standing ovations in it. That's what it had on opening night.
Right. And you mean 3 separate standing ovations?
Apparently on opening night, you got to have a gimmick, got a standing ovation.
Oh, I'm sure it would have done, yes.
The end of that one had a standing ovation. Right. When I saw it, Rose's turn got a standing ovation. Of course, Imelda got a standing ovation when she came out at the end.
Absolutely.
I always describe it as like it's as if someone stuck electricity bolts on the chairs and everyone stands up at once.
Yeah.
The show works better in the proscenium arch because you get the moments when you're in the theatre as the characters watching these.
And there's a false proscenium arch.
The whole thing is a false proscenium arch.
I think it's always done, as far as I remember, it was always done like that. Do they have a thrust stage, an apron stage?
Well, they have the general stage, but then there's a platform that jetties out over it.
Right, and is there something in the middle of it? Like the orchestra? The orchestra.
The overture, sorry, the orchestra.
Yeah, because that's normally done as well.
But then there's a platform that appears and slides off and slides on.
Right, for Gypsy to do her striptease and all that. Right, okay.
Lara Pulver is exceptional as Gypsy Rose Lee because she it was like seeing Katie Brabin, now the Olivier Award-winning Katie Brabin from Beautiful, do this wonderful transformation from a child to a grown-up. And of course you have that wonderful transformation scene in Gypsy when they're all dancing and the strobe lights come on and they all turn into the older versions of themselves.
Oh, that's right. So they do. Now, that's always done.
That gets credit from, along with You've Got to Have a Gimmick, that's Jerome Robbins' choreography.
Right, okay.
And that got a round of applause.
I wonder if they have to keep to that, or it's probably
why would you
better? No.
Why would you try and reinvent the wheel? I mean, there's nothing else you can do to change that moment. Absolutely. And it's so clever.
Did Jerome Robbins do the film?
I don't know.
That's what I'm not sure, because if so, that would be the triumvirate of West Side Story, wouldn't it? Well, three of them.
Yeah, and it's interesting why Leonard Bernstein didn't compose the music for Gypsy. I mean, you wonder why didn't they continue that?
Because Bernstein, I think, wanted to get on with all his classical conducting, and
that worked out well for him, didn't it?
It did. It worked out brilliantly.
And they've extended already. It's now playing till November, which is
so I can go and see it then.
Yeah, you can go last night. You know some people in it, don't you, Jonathan?
Yes, I know Louise Gold, who plays Mazeppa, and I bet she's brilliant. She's always fantastic.
The band. Now, first of all, a note to people who do go and see this show: shut the fuck up during the overture, please, because I couldn't hear for the sound of people yakking on during the overture, then the sound of people telling the people to shut up during the overture.
How annoying.
And in the entr'acte, shut the fuck up during the entr'acte as well, because...
But you have to remember that overtures and entr'actes traditionally are for people to get their way back into the thing, feel the mood of the thing, and they're not going to listen. Because I think the Gypsy Overture...
The Overture got one of the biggest round of applause.
Well, I'm sure it did, because the Gypsy Overture is absolutely phenomenal. It's one of the greatest overtures, I think, probably ever written. It conjures up the whole thing and the excitement and the business of vaudeville and strippers and all that business. Amazing trumpet stuff that must be hellish to play.
It was much better than in Chichester.
Was it? Why?
Well, they've added a timpani, so obviously my pleas on Twitter were heard. But I think it's the theatre. I think the whole...
Yes.
Wonderfulness of this production comes down to the space it's in, but my God, it's a horrible theatre.
Yes, I remember. What was on the Legally Blonde?
Legally Blonde, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yes. Why is it horrible? Oh, yes.
The toilet's about 4,000 miles away, and there's tiny thin corridors and doors that open the wrong way, and everyone's tripping over each other.
Is there any leg room?
Where I was sat, there was legroom, but I wouldn't want to be sat at the back of the top at the
right.
You know.
So in other words, get very expensive tickets.
When I saw it, I was sat at the side of the stage, so it was like I was getting a sideways on performance, and it's as if, of course, they directed it as well as they could do, but it was all very circular as opposed to being front on.
No, I can imagine. And although people loved it in Chichester, didn't they?
I mean, all the Chichester productions seem to, because no one builds proscenium arch theatres anymore.
No, so
they always had these weird kind of apron thrusts and stuff like that. I can't say how wonderful this production is. It does go on a bit, but I still find the "Let me entertain you," not the strip stuff.
No, the little ones.
All the little ones running through.
Yes, I think I used to find that a
we
bit
get the Spanish and the cow and the...
but I have a moo cow and
But apparently people hate Mr. Goldstone as a song.
I've never liked it.
I think it goes down incredibly well in this. They put
humour into it. I just don't like the song.
As a piece of music, you don't like it.
No. Wherever we go is brilliant.
We'll be flat together.
Yeah.
I was listening to the lyrics, and I think because Sondheim wasn't doing the music, he was probably more grounded when it came to being less... Do I want to say pretentious in his lyric writing?
Well, you've got to remember he didn't write the music for West Side Story.
The example I always give is the parody of Sondheim writing in The Musical and Musicals, a musical, which is what is the matter with the murder of a model if the model were mourn in the middle of a muddle, which is always a kind of Sondheim stuff we think of. But there's none of that in Gypsy and West Side Story. And I like the fact that he's doing simple, elegant... clever.
Well, he would say, on the contrary,
people would say it's all wrong.
In West Side Story, he said, you've got a Puerto Rican girl saying all these sophisticated lyrics, and I feel pretty, which he should never have done. But of course, it's one of the most famous songs, and nobody else cares about it. In Gypsy, no, the words are, the lyrics are great in Gypsy, but I think it's also because of the music, isn't it? It's not innovative music in the way that West Side Story was for a musical, is it? I mean, they're fairly standard type songs.
Yeah.
And what also was, I think, fascinating was that in one of the songs, was it Funny, I'm a da-da-da-dee-da, or Small World, isn't it? One of those. I think, wasn't it, Jill Stein said, no, you can't put that name in there. You can't put a name in there because we can't then give it to anyone else to sing. He was thinking of the songs as being hit songs outside, as standalone hit songs.
It's like Imagine Rose's turn, making it all the way up on the hit parade.
No, but things like Everything's Coming Up Roses and Funny and all that.
I'm just looking at the song list now. It's very uneven because Act 1...
Or even uneven.
Uneven, sorry. Act 1 has 13 songs,
right,
or pieces of music.
Yeah.
Act 2 has 5.
It's usually better that way around, isn't it?
But to be fair...
If Mama Was Married, that's great.
A lot of them are small... Let Me Entertain You and the Moo Cow and they're more bitty songs in Act 1.
Gosh, Some People and all those things, absolutely amazing. We have the Toreadorables together wherever we go, gotta get it. Yeah, because it just gets, suddenly it gets more dramatic, doesn't it? We come away from the vaudeville and into real drama there.
Gypsy Rose Lee's story.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely fantastic.
And it is a play of two halves, isn't it? Because the first half is about her and how she gets the children to be part of her performing troupe. And the second half is how the performance troupe she got removes herself and Mama Rose. The husband disappears.
Yeah, and Tulsa goes, and Baby June goes.
Baby June.
Well, I suppose actually we need to have that because
they're just clearing off to get...
Yeah, to give her, give way for her being central stage. I mean, the transition is absolutely amazing, I always think.
You do wonder, though, because it's based on the memoirs, not of Mama Rose, but of Gypsy Rose Lee.
Yeah.
How honest do we think this portrayal of her is?
I think not at all.
Because she comes across as a negative character, but in writing she's always brash.
Well, I've read the book. I read the book a long time ago, and of course it's completely different. But then you don't care, do you? Because it's a wonderful show.
But all the reviews are saying this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to go. This is a Gypsy for a brand new generation.
It's interesting because I was slightly reluctant when I first heard that it was going to be done and Imelda was doing it and all that business, because I'd had such wonderful memories of Andrew Lansbury and Bernadette Peters. But now I'm thinking, I really must go and see it. The only quibble I had, and I know that it's so expensive to hire musicians now, it's so sad, that we don't have any strings in the orchestra, do we?
You only miss them for about a bar when the strings are mentioned in the song.
Right. No, but I noticed it in the overture. I remember that because
I played the overture, and you said you're not really missing them.
I haven't heard all of them, all of the overture by then. I have now, and I do miss it because. But
it's such a big sound in the theatre anyway,
and it's what you. Yeah, no, I'm sure.
Someone said to us on Twitter, why don't they just do a keyboard patch? And I think you don't want to do that. I mean, either have real strings or don't have real strings.
Well, I'm ashamed to say this, but I actually can't remember if there were strings in the Bernadette Peters one.
We'll have to have a listen.
Yes, absolutely.
But Gypsy playing at the Savoy Theatre from now until November, we hope. Jonathan, you are going to go and see it now.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I'm not sure when, but I really will go and see it. And then maybe we can have another chat about it, really.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you liked it, I have to say, because it's great that a younger generation are getting to know Gypsy from the actual stage version.
Once the young people shut up in the audience, they were quite into the story.
Yeah, I don't know how you get them to shut up. Were the lights down or were they up during the overture? I suppose they have to be, really, don't they? People are going to fall over when they're coming. The only other way to do it is to actually make the overture part of the piece and have something going on at the same time.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, you just wish they were just knitting sweaters and sitting still.
But you know what, Nick? I mean, you must have realised this by now. When you talk to the general public, nobody ever really thinks about the orchestration or the orchestra. It's only us musicians, on the whole, that really listen to what's going on.
People were really engaged with this overture because it's
hard not to be.
It's the opening number of the show.
It's exhilarating.
Yeah.
You've got xylophones flying all over the place, and the brass, I mean, just screaming away at the top there. It's just amazing.
It's wonderful. So Gypsy playing at the Savoy Theatre. Please do go and see it. Jonathan Cohen, thank you very much.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. And everyone go and see it.
Yeah. My thanks to Jonathan Cohen and everyone there at the Savoy Theatre for providing a wonderful night when I got to see Gypsy the musical. As we said, it has extended. It's playing until the 28th of November 2015. Good luck to Imelda for doing that extended run. She was absolutely brilliant. I really do urge you to go and see it. You'll never see a performance like that in your life. For more information, you can check out gypsythemusical.uk. Really, just go and see the show. Just book. Thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you soon. We're going to end with a clip of Imelda singing Some People. Bye.
Goodbye to blueberry pie. Good riddance to all the socials I had to go to, all the lodges I had to play, all the Shriners I said hello to. Hey, LA, I'm coming your way. Some people sit on their butts. Got the dream, yeah, but not the guts. That's living for some people, for some humdrum people, I suppose.